unsure. Not knowing your intentions wouldn't be anything but pure. You drown inside, believe your lies, ignore the darkness in your eyes while you face it, the parasite. Bury someone like you tried to do. You're a cancer, and I didn't say it. Every thought I've ever loved you again is faded. Show your face, you're nothing like I thought you'd be at all. So take every parasitic piece of you away. I can see through misery you bring. Every sense of desire starts to sink. I can never trust a word you say. Though you shed your skin, you're still a threat. Every thought of ever.
That band's awesome. I love those guys. That's seven from Lafayette, Louisiana. I think I did the accent right. It's totally different than here. Welcome to Keep Mania Live. It's nice to be back. Michael Grass is with me tonight. It says Thomas, but it's Michael. We couldn't switch it in time, but that's fine.
Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas.
Sure.
Kind of like your mother or your dad or something.
Yeah,
Now, Michael
combination of
Thomas-
both.
Huh?
Combination of both. I was actually named after my mother, although her name is Michelle, but her middle name is Michael, and my father's middle name is Thomas.
That's highly confusing.
West
Well,
Virginia,
sort of.
baby.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Hey,
How you doing, man?
thanks for having me on.
It's nice to have you on. It's we were just talking before we went live here that I've always wanted to have another podcaster on or be on their show or something and just kind of swap stories or find out what they're doing and just stuff like that and just happens to be he's from West Virginia also, so that makes that's even better because we kind of know how life is here.
Right.
It's good and bad. That's like everywhere though, good and bad. But so are you in Charleston? Is that
Yes.
where you're in?
Yes,
Okay.
born and raised.
I know one person down there, and I think you know him also. Christian Tansey, do you know him?
Yeah, I know Chris Tansey.
Yep, that's my
Sure
buddy.
do. Yeah, that's cool. Like I said, small West Virginia,
Yeah, it sure is. So what's going on with you? What's happening this week with you?
Oh, well, I know it's it's the week before Valentine's Day. We'll start with that.
Oh,
So
yes, it is.
Yeah, right. Got to be prepared for that, for the misses. And then this weekend, we talked about it a little bit earlier. We've got two special shows coming up this weekend. Friday, a friend of mine, his name is Asher Shishadi. He's going to be coming in from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, to play a show at Live at the Shop. And Live at the Shop is the music production studio that I record my podcast at. And
Awesome.
they're also a music venue here in Charleston as well. And
Okay.
yeah, so that's Saturday. Then we've got the Kind Thieves from Fayetteville, West Virginia. I'm sure you've heard of
Yeah.
them. Yeah, they're going to be playing on Saturday, and pretty sure Chris Tanzi plays with them. He plays.
Yeah,
With,
yeah. He plays with a lot of people, I think.
yeah, he plays with several bands here in Charleston and the kind of Tri-County area sort of thing. So, yeah, got a lot of great music coming up this weekend. Busy week, and yeah, it's great. I'm looking forward to it.
Now, do you also do you own the shop also,
No,
or
no, a friend of mine is the owner of it,
okay.
but I just help out, just volunteer.
Awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have a place sort of like that up here in Bridgeport. There's a place called Music on Main that's a stage studio.
Mhm.
Well, it's kind of small, but I mean he does shows all the time, and it's a really cool spot. Pretty similar to that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Everything's similar tonight. It's terrific. We don't have to talk about anything. Everything's similar. You're doing the same thing. No.
Right. Yeah, I mean it is. It's really it kind of just like my show is. It's a grassroots effort. And that's West Virginia's small, man. And
It
with
is, yeah, but it's great.
the location where everybody's sort of what's the right word I'm looking for? We're all kind of like stuck in their hills and our hollers and our valleys.
Yeah,
So
we're not too far from each other. It takes what maybe 3.5, 4 hours to get from north to south, maybe something like that.
yeah, something like
You take
that.
the
It probably
interstate.
yeah, probably from Morgantown to Bluefield, probably all of about 4 hours, something like that. But with our geographical location, it's we've got little pockets, little communities throughout the
Right.
state, and music in its own in West Virginia and Appalachia, it all has its own flair to it. Doesn't matter what genre it is, it
Right.
varies by all of them. But as as being West Virginians and being the small state that we are, we all kind of come together to make things happen. So whether it's in Bluefield, Morgantown, or Charleston and Huntington, I mean everyone's connected. Especially all the musicians and of course like the businesses that support that as well. So
Sure.
we got to be the cheerleaders for West Virginia and
That's right.
for the musicians as well. And
Yeah.
it's like what you're doing, that's a great thing. Having this podcast, being able to interview
Yeah.
people that's not only from the state but also worldwide. I mean, that's
Yeah,
really
it gets
impressive.
crazy.
So yeah, you're not only putting yourself on the map, putting West Virginia on the map at the same time. And
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people don't even know, like, you get those that say, how close to the beach are you, or how close to Richmond are you, or I hate those. I'm sure you get that too. But
Yeah,
it's only when you go to other places or people that aren't from here or don't know anything about us. It's they just. It's not that they didn't go to school. Some of them might not have, but it's just that they don't know their geography.
right. Yeah, you say West Virginia, and they say, "Well, what part of that of Virginia is it?" And you're like, "Oh, it's
Yeah.
past where you're thinking."
Yeah, it's the state that's been a state owned for anyway. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's one thing I despise. But I mean, not a lot of. I haven't had a lot of guests from other places do that.
Mhm.
I've had a few, but yeah, it's just
So out of town, whenever people say, "Well, where are you from?" and we'll say Charleston, generally it's close
South
within.
Carolina.
Sometimes we won't think of like being in the Carolinas, and then they say, "Oh, it's Charleston, South Carolina." I'm like, "No, Charleston, West Virginia." They give you that funny look, and I'm like, "Yeah, there's a second Charleston."
Yeah, actually, there's another Morgantown. It's in
Oh, is
Kentucky.
it?
In
Oh,
Kentucky,
really?
I had a band on from Toronto called Bliss Fields, and I was getting ready to see them like the next few days. They were playing in Pittsburgh, so I went up to see them, and I was like, well, heck, I'm closer to Morgantown. I'll just go see you in Morgantown. Well, I didn't read the fine print. It was
Right.
Morgantown, Kentucky.
That's
Never heard
interesting. I'd never heard of it either. That's I guess there's it could be anywhere.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm in. Well, I grew up in Clarksburg. I'm in Shinston now, but I'm sure there's Clarksburgs everywhere.
Right. And Shinston, what's that in between like Fairmont and Morgantown or below Fairmont?
It's between Fairmont and kind of west of being between Fairmont and Clarksburg.
Okay. I
But
got
I'm
you.
on the east side part of it. It's
Right.
really weird how like my address. Well, I'm not gonna say my address, but my address number is only two digits, and my neighbor's is 3. I have no idea why that is. Everybody's is different all the way up the street. Anyway, I don't know. It's West Virginia.
Yeah, that's right.
You know how to get there. How long ago did you start your podcast?
Okay, so I've been doing this since the beginning of 2022. And then in the spring, I took a break. I took a hiatus because, like I mentioned before, I recorded at the shop, and they're a music production. Well, they're a music production studio, but also they're a music production company. So in the spring, in the summer, and in the fall, they actually travel around throughout the U.S. and they set up for music festivals and different events. So whether it's lighting or sound or audio, or not audio, but video, or they've even got stages that they take and they set up for them. So
that's awesome, like mobile stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So in other words, they were shut down. They were shut down. Therefore, like basically the brick and mortar location was shut down until they came back in the fall and put all their equipment back inside and got everything running again. So as for this year, I don't think that they're going to be operating that way. I believe they're going to continue to keep the shop open throughout the spring and summer as well. But yeah, that was the that was the little break in time. But it's it's been a year now. Although I'm only at episode 21, which
you'll get there.
Right? Yeah, get there slow and steady. Just consistency.
I saw recently you had Aristotle Jones on.
Yeah, he's great.
He's been on a couple times. He was on back when I started on Facebook, because I started on Facebook Live way back in 20, and during the pandemic. So we did. I didn't meet him until it was way after things opened up again. I can't remember. It was when was that? When they it was the beginning of last summer when they had the thing at 123 Pleasant Street for the for that festival out in Illinois. What's it called? The
Summer camp?
Yeah, the summer camp. Yeah, when they did that big show, with, Intoxicated Zen played and Aristotle played and a bunch of. I think the Settlement played too. I think. But that's the first time I had met him in person. I mean, I'd talked to him here and there online and stuff. And then for the he came back down. He came here in person, and we did the 100th episode here. And it was kind of a disaster on my end because at that time I was having internet trouble. And internet is, I mean, every sign that I see, every billboard I see is fiber internet is here. The shit it is, because we don't have it like on my street. You know what I mean? Like we still have the what I guess they compared to dial up compared to fiber. Or whatever it's called. Is it fiber optic? Fiber optic?
Yeah, fiber optic. Yeah. That's
you have the fiber at your place?
Yeah, but I live in the city, so it's
Is it fast?
I guess. There's times that it could be slow, but I mean, honestly, out of we probably got about 8 devices in my home that's connected to it, so to be able to do everything, our computers, our phones, game system, television, all that stuff. I guess it works pretty fine. So
yeah, I went through a terrible. It was probably a good month of different providers because I had Frontier for a good while, or was it Suddenlink? I had Suddenlink for a long time.
Yeah,
it was really good, and then all of a sudden it just went to crap. And long story short, little did I know, all I needed to do was call them and get a new modem box. That's all I needed.
Right.
But instead of doing that, I went ahead and called HughesNet, and I was like, well, HughesNet supposed to be good. So they came out here, they drilled a massive hole in my drywall down here. I got one of my stickers over top of it, so I patched it. And then they put that big satellite. It never did work. I never did get hardly anything. So that didn't work. And then I went to Frontier for a minute, and that was terrible. And then I called Suddenlink. I was like, please tell me you can help me. I'm a former customer, blah, blah, blah. He's like, all you need is a new box. I was like, and it works fine. I had to get like those extension things that you plug into the wall, but that's what I'm using here. For some reason, like the modem is in the middle of the house.
Right.
In my room, which is on the other side of the house, it kind of drops a bar, and then in the studio here, it drops a bar. So it's fine. But I don't even use it. Like I don't even use it for the show. I use my phone hotspot.
Oh, really?
And it's because since it's directly, we're talking podcast like logistics or something. Since the feed is coming from my Mac, and I use my phone as my camera. I guess something to do with being directly connected into the port or something. I don't know. I don't know anything about that stuff, but I had a guest told me to do that because we were having trouble with it was breaking up really bad when he was on, and he was like, "Are you on your Wi-Fi or on your hotspot?" I was like, "I'm on my Wi-Fi." He's like, "Hook it to your hotspot. Hook your Mac to your hotspot on your phone." So I did, and the whole thing was fine, and I haven't changed it since.
Right. Hey, well, if it works, don't fix it, or if it ain't broken, don't fix it, I suppose.
Right. What was I? Well, I was going to say something. I can. Oh, ooh. My friend Alicia's in the chat room. I do the live chat along with the show on YouTube,
That's
and
cool.
they have to subscribe to be able to chat. So that's how I force people to subscribe to the show.
I like that.
How do you do with subscribership on your channel? Do you push it big time like a lot of pages or a lot of channels do, or do you have little graphics on the bottom and how do you work with the subscriber stuff?
Well, where I'm still in I should say, the infancy of my podcast. Well, first off, everything's live. It's all live
Yours
right.
live also?
Yes, it's live right on the
Yeah.
spot. I could do post-production to it, but just being busy,
Oh, I know.
I
Yeah.
normally I just download it from the software that we use, or if it's going directly to Facebook, then I'll download it from Facebook and then re-upload it to YouTube and to Rumble. As far as subscriptions go, or trying to get subscribers, I just try to tell all my friends about it,
Yeah.
get them to subscribe, and if I see anybody, hey, have you subscribed yet?
Yeah.
I feel like Facebook doesn't work. Their algorithms don't work in the way that you want them to when it comes to promoting what you're doing, unless you
Right.
pay for it. Unless
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
unless you boost it.
Boost,
Because I
yeah.
get absolutely no traction on my Facebook page. That's for my show.
Right.
When it comes to Instagram, there's a little bit more traction to it. But yeah, as it is now, it's I just keep my fingers crossed and hope people like it and they'll subscribe to it. I need to get to 1,000 so I can become monetized or at least go live.
Yeah.
Because
Well, you can still go live if you pay Zoom like I do.
Mhm.
If you pay for
We've got
Zoom,
some sort of software that it'll go live, but it goes through the shop's Facebook page.
right? Yeah.
So I'm still trying to get that worked out where it goes to mine.
You go to other platforms, not just YouTube when you go live.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, it goes to YouTube. It goes now it generally goes to Facebook and to Twitch, but now it can also go to YouTube as well.
Now,
So,
have you ever used the Twitch? I guess Discord's the other one, or maybe not. Twitch is the one that has its own I guess it would be like a DAW for recording video. Like it has a whole setup thing that like I've gotten on there, but that's a whole new system I'd have to learn. You know what I mean? I got my system. My
Right.
system's fine.
Right. Yeah. No, I haven't experimented with any of that, honestly. But I'm always willing to learn new things and try things differently. So,
I am too. But my only thing though is I always play music on the show and it's all copywritten. And that's where I ran into problems on Facebook is, they don't cover you for any of that stuff. Like even if you write, you have permission, they still take, that's how that's why I had to change. But YouTube covers all that. It's listed, when we're done. So that's the only reason I really haven't switched and it's doing fine this way, for
Yeah.
now. I just don't know. I mean, other than getting like a BMI license, there's really no other way to do it,
right. Yeah, you got to pay BMI, and do you still have to pay ASCAP as well?
I think it's either or. I think when I did look into it, because when that happened on Facebook, I was like, what am I gonna do? I was like, that's the show. That's what I do,
Exactly.
And I ended up I was doing a chat with somebody at BMI on the website, and they were saying they actually recommended YouTube. They're like, yeah, you don't want to have to pay it because it's like having a radio station and paying what radio stations pay just to be able to do
It's
it.
a lot of money.
Yeah. So I was like, well, I don't have that kind of money. I'm not making anything. But I think it's fine where it's at for now. Until I start making a killing like Joe Rogan, then
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's what I want to do after I left the radio station. I used to be on WTSQ 88.1 in Charleston, and I was there for maybe like 3 years or so. And
Are
after
you still with him?
No, I haven't been there for since 2020 now.
Okay.
No, whole other story. Honestly, I'm still kind of salty about it after all this time. Maybe I'll tell you about it later, but not to talk negative really about them. Great radio station, but there's just some bad apples. Like it'd be anywhere else. So, and that when there's bad apples and there's people that just make it hard on you. And
did you actually work there, like as your employment, or because I know Tansy works or does I don't know whether it's volunteer or what he does, but it's like I think it's on Tuesday nights or something he does.
Right, yeah, it's all volunteer. At least that's in the way now. They're a nonprofit. However, some people do get paid working there.
I see. Okay.
But not everybody gets paid, unfortunately.
So you had a show kind of like Tansy has. Is that where you're?
Yes. I had a 2-hour time slot on Saturdays, every Saturday from 1 to 3, and I played.
What did you? What was your is it pretty much the same kind of thing you're doing on Grassroots?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I played more music, but I did have some interviews whenever guests or whatever bands would come to Charleston, and if there's something that I liked, I'd try to pull them on last minute. I play rock, hip hop, jam bands, blues, funk, electronic.
Everything.
Yeah, it was. I started out as the Grassroots Variety Hour because I couldn't just narrow it down to like one specific genre because I listened to all kinds of stuff. Like I listened to oldies and things too, man. So it was really hard to do that. But as it went, it's anybody that would come to town. I had Zach Deputy up there once. You know who Zach Deputy is. I interviewed Vince Herman from Leftover Salmon.
Nice.
Guys from Big Something and repping their merchandise here today.
There you go. Yeah.
Big Something. So I had plenty of people on there, all very interesting conversations. Sometimes conversations don't always go how you expect them to. And
oh man, yeah, we were talking about that before we went live too. Yeah, there's some that you just. I'd like to go back and do them again, but in ways I wouldn't like to do them again. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, you live and you learn, and that's all part of it. And I mean, it's everybody's a human, and maybe you ask the wrong question, or like I don't know, there's awkward silence or a pause.
That's why it's fun doing it live. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people are like, "Why don't you pre-record?" Well, for one thing, everybody pre-records.
Right.
Like every podcast pre-records. It's so perfect, but like you're saying, we're human, and that's entertainment. When you mess up, people love that.
Right.
They feed off of when people mess up. Kind of like watching a NASCAR race. I fast forward until they crash. That's I mean, that's entertainment. It's not entertainment when they're going around in circles. Some people I guess would be, but it's the same kind of thing. I mean, I've tripped early on. I bought a tripod from Wish. It was a horrible idea and I had my tablet, this big clunky tablet on that tripod, and I had I think it was Shannon Jones. She was here playing, and I got up to just get out of the shot. And I tripped over the freaking tripod and just crashed everywhere. But it was live, so I just picked it up and put it back. And then when we went back on, I was like, "That was me. That was me. I did that."
Right.
People love that stuff. It's raw. It's real and raw.
It's authentic too.
Yeah. I'm glad you do yours live. I thought that yours was pre-recorded, but I'm glad you do yours live too. That makes me.
It's all live. I mean, sometimes I would like to pre-record it because there's certainly. I don't know. I never really get to the point where I talk too much about things that I wouldn't necessarily. I don't know, hot topics. You know what I mean? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Although I would like to, in essence, I would like to talk more about things that are important and not necessarily just music. And musicians
I know what you mean.
They don't always just want to talk about music.
I noticed on your Instagram story about the Turkish earthquake and stuff. I'd like to talk about that stuff too sometimes.
Right.
I try not, when a band has a guest, I don't want to take their time away by getting off into something. So I always say no politics, no religion, but sometimes it gets thrown in there, and there's nothing you can do. You got to let the guest talk. I don't know, and I've had to interrupt people before because they just kind of start going on a tangent, like not or anything, but just kind of just really hearing what they're saying about it and want everybody to hear what they're saying, and just,
right.
That's been the hardest thing for me to do and not do is, early on I would interrupt people. I would ask them a question, then I'd interrupt them halfway through their answer. And then the other thing was just after I did let somebody talk, when do I interject? When do I say, okay, we're taking up too much time? What's been the hardest thing for you so far to get over? Is it something like that?
Well, I'd say first, generally my anxiety.
Oh yeah,
the anxiety of meeting somebody new, trying to, I guess, like figure them out a little bit. It's different with me and you. We're talking on a computer here.
Yeah,
so completely different. And generally, it's like trying to figure somebody out a little bit and figuring like how am I going to break the ice? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, finding the icebreaker within what you're talking about, because you don't want it to be boring. You don't want it to be just the same thing over and over again, and at least to them either, because think musicians do tons and tons of interviews, and it's usually stuff like how long you've been playing, who's your influences, where are you touring next, and you want to try to spice things up, but of course sometimes politics comes into it or current events, but that's what keeps it real and authentic, and there may be a possibility that whoever's listening or watching may want to know what somebody's opinion is on it.
Yeah. I've had my dad's he does oil and gas, and I think it was pretty much every time I have somebody from another country on, he wants to know what the gas prices are over there. Like, and that is interesting because it is different. Sometimes it's way different, And then
Right.
like when Russia invaded Ukraine, that's very near Finland, and I've had 4 bands on from Finland, and that's very close to them, and they wanted to talk about it, and
Right.
and so I kind of let them. I mean, what are you gonna do,
Oh, yeah.
So it's and then the last show I did, Drown the Deep from Pittsburgh was on the other night, and I had to talk about the darn balloon, the Chinese balloon, because I had a guy. I don't know if you saw my stories. The illusionist that I had on back in October, he did this stunt where he jumped out of a hot air balloon and had a falcon jump, or not jump out, but the falcon was let go from that same hot air balloon, and he's in his wingsuit, skydiving and holding a lure, and the falcon has to find him and get the lure, and they finally did it. It took them 9 days of filming to do it, but so I kind of did a segue with the Chinese balloon and that, because it happened on the same day the balloon exploded. So I mean, I kind of touched on it, but I didn't go into it like, wow, that was a damn spy balloon, or not,
Right. I actually, it's something I talked about with my guest last week. It came up. They said something about China, and I said, "Hey, what about that Chinese weather balloon?" And it was just kind of, we chatted about it briefly, and then there was something about. He said something about the government. I can't remember specifically, but it was something about the government. I said, "Well, isn't it great that we're Americans and we can live in America and talk bad about our government?" And I said, "Right here, like live on the internet,
not get shot."
Right, with no repercussions whatsoever. And I was like, if we did like live in China, I was like, we'd be thrown in jail or like whipped, or there's possibilities to it, and it's it's freedom of speech in America.
Yeah.
And here we go, going on my little tangent. It's freedom.
That's fine. I mean, that's good.
Yeah, freedom of speech is being taken away more and more every day, and to be able to really speak things, whether you're just bullshitting and you say something stupid on the internet that the algorithms take for granted and think that it's
right.
negative, or it's I don't know. There's hate speech out there, but then there's also the difference between hate speech and the freedom of speach. Of course, you shouldn't go into any movie theater and yell fire.
Right. Yeah.
Say things on the internet that there's like a bomb threat somewhere, things like that. However, you shouldn't be necessarily blacklisted or shadow banned for the things that you say. So
I watch a lot of viewers probably don't know this, but I watch a lot of the First Amendment audits on YouTube. A lot of them, and I follow a lot of the real popular guys. I'm not going to name names, but a lot of those, and some of those guys aren't. I don't watch just because of the way that they do it, but some of these guys just the cops or the administrators will come up to them and say, is this what you're trying to do? Are you trying to get a reaction? And they don't understand. That's not even the point. They're not trying to get a reaction. None of these guys would be popular on YouTube or anywhere if they got no reactions at all. They wouldn't be popular. Basically, is what I'm saying. And it's just and a lot of people just don't understand until you watch it. Until you watch enough of them, people just don't get it. They don't understand how much freedom we actually do have that we don't use.
Right. Yeah, I think people just they don't realize it at all because they've never been subjugated to living somewhere that you can't say what you think.
I had a band on from China, and it was very difficult to even communicate with them because everything is watched. They have to do everything through a VPN. They have to watch what they announce when they announce it, like their music. It's just everything is so controlled. And that's what we can release. Heck, we can release it. We could write a song on a guitar tonight and release it. Release it at midnight and say blah blah blah, whatever we want about it. And
Right.
they can't do that over there. I don't know what other countries. But I definitely know there that they just can't. They have to watch when they do that because it seems like I think the way he explained it was the government wants a piece of that, of whatever you're making. Whatever you're distributing, they want some of that too. And it was very very enlightening to hear about that stuff. That was a very very good episode.
Right.
Paulofosia was her name.
Okay.
Is their name. They still play, and every once in a while they'll put something on Instagram. But like I said, it's very sparse because they just have to kind of watch when they do that, and kind of it could have happened weeks ago, but
Right.
that's just the way they do it. I don't that would suck. But I mean, the one guy is from Morgantown, and he went over to study in China and loved it enough to stay, and now he's in a band over there, and they do very well. So
Right.
it is different. It's so much different from America. America.
America, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I love that movie. I used to have that on here. Oh gosh, I wish I'm gonna have to find it. Let's go ahead and play Tom's Diner, and I'll find it while that's playing.
All right, let's do
I
it.
think it's. Oh, I know what song it is. Okay, I'll be able to find it now. It's not that one though. What is this song? Everybody on the show knows that I ask bands what songs they want to feature, but in your case, I just said what's on your playlist right now. What's your favorite? And I know it's hard for me to nail down a favorite too. I got thousands and thousands of tracks of songs, guests, and huge people. Anyway, so what's this song mean to you, and why did you pick it?
Honestly, the meaning, I don't know. It just sounds good. And if it sounds good and I can shake my butt to it, then that's really all that matters sometimes.
And you're more than welcome to do that. It's America. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And it's, I found the song really, I feel like I heard it 20 years ago sort of thing. And then I recently heard it again, and it kind of flooded like some memories coming back to me. So I've had it on repeat ever since like about 4 weeks ago. I just listened to it over and over again. And there's two men that are singing in it. Both have very different vocals, and one of them is much more. It sounds like there's a lot more heart, a lot more soul into it. And when that guy gets singing, it almost gives you cold chills. So you'll know which one it is. They'll know which one it is whenever they start singing. And
All right, let's take a listen to it. Here we go.
I am sitting in the morning at the diner on the corner. I am waiting at the counter for the man to pour the coffee.
And he feels it only halfway, and before I even argue, he is looking out the window at somebody coming in. It is always nice to see you, says the man behind the counter to the woman who is coming. She's shaking her umbrella, and I look the other way as they are kissing their hellos, and I'm pretending not to see them. And instead I pour the milk. Oh no, it is always nice to see you. 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 Oh, it is always nice. Always nice.
Asher just joined the chat.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Yeah. What's up, Asher? Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, man. Well, we're gonna play yours here shortly. Here's that song I was telling you about.
He doesn't know.
Let me see if it plays here. Yeah, here it is. Why is it not playing? No, it's not gonna let. I don't know why it's not. There we go. Is it? Nope, it's not gonna play it for some reason. Anyway, it was the AIDS one. Everyone has AIDS. That one.
No, I'm talking. It was the one from
Team America.
Team America.
Yeah. It won't let me play it for some reason. I can't play it. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, for those of them out there watching, if they know, they know. You know.
They know. That's a great movie too. I haven't seen that for a long time. Matt Damon.
Yeah, funny, kind of going with the movie. Growing up, my father, he was a small business owner, and he had 3 movie stores here in the valley, here in the Kanawha Valley.
Blockbusters?
Yeah, he was here before Blockbuster, actually. Yeah, and it was it's called Movies and More. He had movies, games, and he had adult movies as well. And,
Movies? Boobies and More? Or Movies and More?
Movies and More.
Oh, I thought you said Boobies and More. I'm like, well, hell yeah.
Yeah, Boobies and More. That was in the back room where all the adult
yeah.
movies were at.
And more.
And more. That's right. That's what and more is.
That's the key.
And, yeah, man. It's it was really cool kind of growing up in a movie store, multiple movie stores, and getting to, pick out your favorite releases right when they come out, or, as I get a little bit older, Nintendo 64, he had Nintendo 64 games. He always had games growing up, but it wasn't until I was, 6 or 7, 8, something like that, started playing games. And
How old are you?
Ripe age of 31.
Oh, you're young. Okay, I'll be 43 in September.
Yeah,
but you still might know what I'm talking about. But there's people or kids nowadays that don't know what we had to go through with like Blockbuster, and we didn't have our phones to just listen to the latest thing. I mean, I don't know if this goes as far back as you, but like a mixtape. Like I would have to sit like in my room somewhere quiet, because it's going to pick up everything, and hit play and record this at the same time to record something on the radio, right, and try to get it right at the beginning and right at the end before the DJ starts talking.
Mm-hmm.
Now
that's talented, super talented, because it's far from what we do nowadays. Even being I guess the 12 years younger than I am, our version of mixtapes, it was just burning a CD.
We did that too. Yeah.
You'd have like LimeWire or something. I can't remember what the
Napster.
Napster, there we go. Yeah, and
there's a few. LimeWire. I forgot about LimeWire. LimeWire, Napster, and I feel like there was another one. I don't know. Yeah.
Kazoom or
yeah. What was it? It was
Zoom, or I don't.
Yeah, you're in the right.
Kabam.
Something. Yeah. Kabam. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, Asher, thanks for watching, man. We're you don't know it yet, but we're gonna play "Feeling" here in a little bit.
Yeah,
because I'm feeling it.
Came out. He released that earlier this week. Today's Tuesday, so yeah, last week he released that, and that's featuring the vocals by Danny King. And man, she's really got some pipes on her. She can really sing. Talented, very, very beautiful sounding. And
we should get Asher on here. I wonder if he can zoom in. Can he?
Probably. I only have Zoom on my computer because I chat with him on it.
Send him the link if you can that I sent you, and see if he wants to join in with us. That'd be great. He could tell us a little bit about his track. While you're doing that, I'll kind of tell folks what's coming up.
Yeah, man.
On the show here. I don't have anybody scheduled until Ash Wednesday, because Groundhog Day they couldn't do it, and Valentine's Day they couldn't do it. But I'm having 2 bands come back on to do a 2-band banger on Ash Wednesday, and we're gonna, I guess, celebrate Ash Wednesday. I don't know what you do on Ash Wednesday, but we're gonna. It's February 22nd, and it's gonna be Maintenance, which they were on Thanksgiving Eve. We did a Thanksgiving Eve show, and they had a big spread. They were eating turkey and all kinds of crap in front of them. But I didn't know at the time that a previous guest that I had on, probably a year ago, for lack of a term, they're buddies. Like, they know each other. So I was like, well, hit up those guys and let's do a show together. So that's what we're going to do on Ash Wednesday. We've got 2 bands coming on. I don't know if they're going to be in the same place or not, but it'll all be over the call here, and we'll it'll be a heck of a show, because those Maintenance guys, I'm just all I'm gonna say is big dildo. That's all I'm gonna say.
Big dildo. That leaves a lot for the mind.
He says he doesn't have a camera on his computer. Well, you don't need a camera. You don't need a camera. You don't need a camera. You have an audio? I don't know. I don't know.
He may.
If you want to, but
He may be busy too. Who knows?
he might be busy. Yeah, there's
Right.
that might be something you can relate to too. Like, you know, when I would try to schedule a band, it took me the longest time to realize that, you know, people are busy. People have lives other than their band or, you know, coming on my show. You know, like it took me a long. Like my feelings would get hurt when people wouldn't get back to me, and now it's just like, well, okay, on to the next one. You know, and it's not that I don't feel that way about their personality or anything. It's not directed towards them. It's just like I can't wait around. You know, I'm going to move on. You know, to the next. You know, to the next guest. I mean, the show must go on, right? The show must go on.
Yeah, definitely. No, I totally understand. That's there's been times I've wanted some friends to come on and they haven't been able to make it, and for one reason or another, whether it's, you know, they've got a job or they've got kids and a family, or they're just on some bullshit and don't show up. Roast me, you know, which it doesn't happen very often. But, you know, people have their reasons for things, and I try not to get upset, but it does. It can hurt your feelings sometimes. You wonder, is it me or is it, you know, it's them? Yeah,
it's just like, yeah, it took me the longest time to get over that. And then a buddy of mine, well, he's actually one of the, what would I say, he was the very first guest. We went to high school together, and Dale Gordon, and, you know, he's from here and he lives in Nashville now. And I was like, Dale, I have this idea and this is what I want to do. So, you know, he was the very first guest. And he was also the guest on the 10th episode because I thought I was done after that. I was like, well, you know, everything's opening up again. I'm done. Well, then it came down to who's on the next show. So that's how that kept going. But you know, he kind of told me, he was like, you know what? People have lives. You know, people have other things going on than to just talk about whatever you want to talk about or come or even take time to come on the show.
Right.
You know, even though it's only an hour, some people just don't want to. And that's the easiest way some people can tell you is by not telling you, you know. And that I would much rather have that, you know.
Yeah, but wouldn't you almost just rather than be straight with you and say, hey, I'm
sometimes
not interested in coming on, or I can't come on? Like, that's what I'd rather people do instead of like leave me hanging. It's like, just be real with me, because I wouldn't want somebody to do that to me. It's like, hey, let me know what's going on. I would totally respect you so much more if you said, hey, can't make it, or I'm busy.
Yeah, but it's some people too are hard to. It's hard for them to do that, you know, because they kind of want to, but maybe they can't get their bandmates to do it, and they don't want to do it themselves.
That's where you got.
But I've had people that like
pull them up, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I've had people that just one member of the band, like the drummer, just the bass player or something, just because maybe the other guys either. Well, they're busy. I gotta go here. They're busy.
We're all busy. Yeah.
But maybe they didn't want to come on. They're camera shy. I hate that.
That could be one thing.
Camera shy. But you go up on a stage and sing, you know,
Right,
or play your instrument. But yeah, I mean, people.
Hey, I mean, it's Asher's watching this. I don't want Asher to think it's like we're directing towards him or anything, because he's not on. But
he says he said, I'm working on some stuff right now, but I would love to get on your podcast sometime. Oh, well, cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes,
yeah,
definitely,
cool.
for sure. We'll schedule.
Okay. I could probably send you his email, or, you know, get you all linked up afterwards.
You know, Asher, don't be saying this crap and then leave me hanging.
Bail out on him now.
Yeah.
He wouldn't do that. He's a really great guy, and he's one of my closest friends, despite our distance apart.
Yeah.
So,
how did you guys meet?
Through the internet.
The power of the internet.
Yeah, the power of
another thing we didn't have when I was growing up.
Right.
Dial-up. We had AOL Instant Message or whatever it was called.
Yeah, I had AIM too. AIM. Yeah.
Everybody had the AIM. Yeah.
It's funny how the internet works. I found him through Instagram, and I believe at the time he had somebody that was like working to promote his page. You know, like you go on Instagram and follow a bunch of people, and then follow you back, you unfollow them. Not that I've ever done that, but that's what they say how it's done. But it didn't work that way with him. Anyways, I found his music. Maybe he found me, or somebody found me that was running it. Anyways, I found his music. I started listening to it, and I really liked it. And I just sent out an email or a message and said who I was. You know, gave my plug like I do with most of the people when I wanted to play their music, and say, hey, you know, I'm interested in playing your music. Can I put it on my show? And he reached back out to me, and he said, yeah, I'd love to do that. And, you know, we just kind of from there, we continued talking and, bonded and made this friendship. And then one day I was able to kind of put it together with some of the other DJs that were, I guess, knew how to do it more than me. I helped him set up a show where he came in from Florida for the first time and played. And then we did another one after that, maybe about a year or so later, because it was pretty successful the first time. And then the coronavirus came around and everything was shut down there for a while. So I mean, between then, though, I guess that was maybe 2019 or 2020. We just maintained this friendship, and whenever I go on vacation, I usually we've made an attempt to see each other while I've been on vacation down in Florida. And
Nice.
yeah, so that's how it is. It's a bromance.
Yeah, well, sure. Yeah, it's not anything you really want to talk about like in public, but
Yeah,
Why is it?
he's cool, and I wish he lived closer, but it is what it is, and it gives me a reason to get out of town, I suppose.
I don't know why I had the I had to do this. Let me see. No, Asher says, "Navar, I'm chilling with it." He said, "It sounds great." And then he put emojis, and it's just the dark out emojis, and or how's it like this? That thing? Yeah, and it, because I have some of the comments that they get held for review, like if somebody cusses or something, and I just do that because of something that's happened in the past.
Right.
And it held his emojis.
That's funny. See, it's weird how the algorithms think that something that's supposed to be like malicious isn't.
Yeah.
Silly.
He said total bromance for sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
Don't.
That's this right here. Yeah. Don't tell us everything. Oh, let's listen to Asher's song, and I do have a segment that I do on the show, and I wasn't going to do it tonight, but I'm going to, because this is it'll be good, and it'll kind of give it away for Asher, but he might forget about it by the time he comes on the show as a guest. Probably not, but it's called the Wiener segment. So just let your bromance go where it does. And since we can't ask Asher what his song's about, and maybe you know a little bit about this song, if not, that's okay. You can act like you do. For him, he's listening.
I really don't, but based off the name of the song, it's feeling, and there's a feeling that you get, I suppose, with being with a certain person, and or being in a certain atmosphere or a certain place, So it really, I guess it depends on the listener and how it really resonates with them and how they're feeling. But music, just like art, it's subjective. So
who is Danny King again? Say that.
Danny King, she is the vocalist on this track.
Okay. Let's take a listen to it. I don't want to murder the last name, but I know it's Asher.
Shashadi.
That's awesome.
Shashadi. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's definitely got to come on the show. That's awesome. Cool. All right, here's a brand new song, right?
A new song, that's right.
Brand new song. It's called Feeling. Take a listen.
Sometimes I think about how good we were, kissing in my car, me in your shirt. I don't wanna think about it, so I better just think about you. You were too uptight to get your way. You taught me how to fight, but not to stay. I don't wanna think about it, so I better just think about you. Last to affection.
That's a sick beat. Yeah, I mean, I just put a system in my truck, my little tiny Ford Ranger that I have, and it's a little 10. But I'm gonna go after we're done. I've got to hear that in my truck. I mean, great. That's excellent, Asher. Good job, man.
Yeah, it's an awesome song, and like I said, man, she's got some pipes on her. She can really sing.
Yes. Yeah. Not to take away from Danny or anything, but that I was listening to. Well, I pulled up his website while we were listening, and it said EDM. And I do some EDM stuff also. Not like that. It's not like that at all. But I mean, it is. But it's not that good.
Does that sound electronic to you? Does it sound like typical EDM music?
Well, in a way. I mean, that's kind of slow for what I would. I don't know. I guess I don't know. It's good for that song.
Yeah,
you can just hear, because I got these new cans, and I mean the bass is just outrageous in these things. It's like, I mean, it's great. I loved it.
Yeah, I don't know. He's really evolved over like the last few years, and some of his newer stuff really doesn't sound anything like his older things. You know, as a musician, you grow and you evolve and you learn new things and you form a different sound. So what he's doing now, yeah, I love it. It absolutely sounds great.
And he's playing where on Saturday?
What do you say? Where is he playing? What
is he coming to town Saturday? Did you say?
Yeah, he's going to be playing live at the Shop in Dunbar, West Virginia.
Come to Dunbar, I think.
1233 Ohio Avenue in Dunbar, West Virginia.
There's the address, people. It will slap on the 10s.
It will.
Well, it's only 110, and it'll definitely slap on that because it was expensive. It said, and I appreciate a big time, bro, and thank you so much. Yeah, she's saying that he's very good. Thank you so much for listening and playing it. It means a lot. It means a ton. Yes, that's very good. That's very good stuff. I'm gonna look up some more of that stuff.
Yeah, man, check it out. He's got a lot of great music, and I think, I don't know, he's still got some things that are. Check out Dynamite if you're looking for something a little bit harder and less poppy. Check out Dynamite. That one goes hard.
I will do that. I mean, it's up. I got it up ready to go here when we're done. I'm gonna pound the shit out of this. He says Friday, not Saturday.
Yeah, that's right. It's not Saturday.
I thought you had a bromance going. What happened?
Oh, we do, but I'm getting the dates mixed.
Speaking of bromance, let's talk wieners.
Let's talk wieners. What is this like? We're gonna go dick to dick here. How are we doing this?
Nut to butt. Nut to butt.
Kind
of like riding a Harley with your buddy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, this is a segment that I started. I was forced to start by my roommate Mike. Mike is a lover of hot dogs and wieners, I'm sure, but we'll go with hot dogs right now. But yeah, he's a hot dog connoisseur. He travels miles and upon miles to try people's wieners, and I don't understand the fetish behind it, but it's what he does. So I'm sure he's been, since you're in West Virginia. We started doing this when I had somebody on from I think Chicago or something, and he's like asking about Chicago dogs. Basically, he's wanting to know what you like on your hot dogs, what your topping choice is, and where would you go around where you live? Because I'm sure I've had somebody from down that area say something about Charleston area, but where would you go, and like what toppings are your choice? Basically, is what we're getting at here.
This is a great little segment here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And when it comes to hot dogs, I keep it classic. I like the West Virginia dog. West Virginia dog, if you don't know, that is mayonnaise, not mayonnaise. I'm hearing mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise?
It is mustard ketchup. Here, I'm messing that up too.
It must be from Virginia.
Mustard and onions, and it is relish. Mustard, chili, onions, and relish, I should say.
A relish? No, wait. That's not fully West Virginian then.
It's not. I'm messing. I'm just.
It must be the southern part of the state then. Isn't there a slaw line? There's a slaw line, right?
I'm messing it all up here, man. It's wasn't too many of these Delta 8 doobies here tonight.
There you go.
It's mustard, chili, and onion, and then they put slaw on it too. Now the slaw is optional, but that's generally it. And also, I like to put jalapenos on mine as well, if that's available, of course.
Yes, and it's. I brought this up the other night too on a show. When we walk into a hot dog place, we say, "I'll take two with everything."
Right.
Now, in another state, you say everything. They're going to be looking in the cabinets for things, but everything to us is sauce or chili. Some people call it sauce up here. Sauce or chili, mustard, and onions, and that's it. That's everything, though.
Yeah, that's right.
Are you a ketchup
My
person?
family in Kentucky, they call it sauce.
Yeah. Some people sauce or wait, you probably say it better than I can, like a southern drawl.
They like sauce.
I
Sauce.
don't know how they say it. Yeah, sauce.
Yeah,
Sauce.
sauce.
Sauce. I don't know. We can do that all night. Sauce. Yeah. So Asher, don't just forget about that whole question when you're on the show because I'm going to ask the same thing.
Oh, and as far as where to get a good hot dog at,
Yeah. We're down there.
yeah, I'll tell you, there was recently there was a list compiled together of the best place. I think it was maybe 300 places or maybe 100 places in West Virginia where the best hot dogs are at. And this was it was huge a couple weeks ago. It came
Don't
out.
say custard stand. Don't
Yeah,
say
people were arguing about who had the best hot dog. It's kind of crazy. But anyways, I think the best dog, and I agree with him on this one, it's at Bogey's Driving Range, and that's out in Tornado, West Virginia.
tornado. Not to be confused with hurricane.
Not to be confused with Hurricane, right? That's right. And yeah, they've got a really good hot dog out there. But honestly, you know, if you got to get one on the go, and you can't make it to the driving range,
It's actually at a driving range. That's badass.
yeah, that Bogey's is a
I mean,
driving.
when I go to driving ranges, I think hot dogs. I mean, you know.
Right. Hey, they have a big smoker out there, and they do pork barbecue and all kinds of different stuff. They cater, they do it all. You know, got to make money.
Invisible Rob just showed up, and the reason you didn't see him is because he's invisible. But he's my buddy. He's Invisible Rob because he doesn't like to be on the camera. But
What's up, Rob?
what are you doing, Rob? Are you off work tonight?
Actually, I gotta go back.
You got to go back. So you're on the clock still. Is basically what you're saying. Gotcha. All right. Yeah, he milks the clock over here at the studio. They're not watching. Don't your boss isn't watching. Have you ever gone to a driving range and ate wiener? Oh, okay, never mind. I don't want to know the answer to that. Asher said he'll forget about that.
Don't forget about his wiener.
Yeah. Well, you guys are at the bromance, not me. Not yet, Asher. Not yet. We still have some time here. What's coming up at the shop? If you want to promote the shop a little bit, and what's coming up on your show? I mean, that's the main thing. What's coming up on your show? Who you got coming?
Well, you know, honestly, so since Asher's going to be here on Friday, I'm going to talk with him. He was on the podcast on episode 9, and I did that in Charlotte back in May for one of his shows. So it's going to be good to catch up with him, as well as some of the other DJs that are going to be playing there. We've got a guy called Lucas the Flow. He's going to be there, as well as Kevolution, and DJ Mixar, and then DJ Quartz. So
Who is it? Kind of like is it going to be a dance party?
yeah, it's going to be a big dance party. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I haven't been to one of those in a while. I'm going to see Memphis May Fire on Thursday in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
with a couple bands that I've had on.
nice.
So I'm more into like the like metal shows and rock shows and things, but I haven't been to a good dance party in a long time. You want to go to a dance party on Friday, Rob? He goes, he's definitely not. I can't even get him to go to the shows that I like. There's other.
Yeah, well, I'd say, you know, you got to want to be there.
You're missing out on Asher Shahady and the rest of the DJs that he just mentioned that I can't remember the name right now.
Yeah, and then I want to interview them, and then on Saturday, you know, the Kind Thieves are going to be there. I've been trying to interview the Kind Thieves.
I'm gonna have to spend the damn night down there.
Right, yeah, they played twice there at the shop so far, and I haven't been able to interview them while they're there. So I'm going to interview them and chat, and it's going to be a good weekend. We've got some other things going on for the rest of the month. But,
I'm gonna have to look at my schedule and see what I got this weekend because I've got to get down there and spend the night, and not I won't tell Tansy I'm coming. That'll be a good surprise for him, I think.
yeah, you can just show up, man.
Is there alcohol at this venue?
Yes. It has a bar.
There's
although-
alcohol there, Rob. You can go. He doesn't even drink.
It's okay. That's we have water as well.
Yeah, they got water.
Plenty of water. But what's great about this venue is that it has a bar, but it's not open as a bar. So people aren't coming in there to drink. You know what I mean? So the people that are coming there are actually coming to see the music.
Yeah, I mean, that's the most important thing, of course.
Right. And because you don't want to have like you know that scene from the Blues
That
Brothers
guy.
where they're in that like redneck bar and they're playing, they got the chicken wire up on the stage and like they start playing, they piss off one of them, and eventually
Sometimes those are the best venues, though.
they're-
Sometimes,
Right.
not very often, but yeah.
So it's not like even though it has a bar, it's not set up like a bar, so you're not going to have just people in there.
It's
necessarily.
available. It's available if you want some.
Correct. Yes.
Gotcha. Well, we should have done this in person this weekend then, me and you. Maybe
Yeah.
we will. Maybe we'll. I'll bring my gimbal. I got a
Yeah.
gimbal to shows, and it's a lot easier than holding the phone like an idiot. You know what I mean?
Right. That's I need to buy a gimbal for my phone as well. It's it really makes
I will bring my gimbal, and you can use my gimbal for a little bit. What?
Ooh, okay.
We can have our own bromance, Asher.
Space Ghost.
Asher's got some killer hair. I saw on the website.
Yeah, he's got 3 times as much hair on his head than I do.
Yeah, that's a strangely huge amount of hair, but it's dreadlocked. It looks good. So,
Yeah, they're dreadlocked. He's been growing them for I don't know how many years now, but I know that he said that he had first started it after meeting someone in Hawaii, and they inspired him to do it. And maybe it's something you could ask him about. So
yes. I will definitely do that when he's on the show. We will talk hair.
yeah, have you ever grown a beard before?
Have I?
Yeah,
I just shaved tonight. I actually cut the half hawk down.
half hawk.
The half hawk was up to here. There's a story behind that. We can go through another time. But it was about up to there, and I had to cut it down. It was starting to. I couldn't. It was unmanageable, Michael. It was unmanageable, so I had to manage it. But
Right.
I've never grown like a full beard. I can't stand my neck having. I can't stand that part.
Right. I guess the same kind of applies to like the top of your head too. Once you get something going, and you put in the work to it, and you get attached to it,
True.
much like
Yeah.
having a big long beard
And
and
a podcast. The
or,
podcast.
or having dreadlocks as well, or having the mohawk. It can apply to all 3.
Or the half hawk.
Half hawk, yeah, that's right. I dig it.
Asher says I'm ready for new bromances in my life. Well, good, because you're about to get one, damn it.
Whether he likes it or not.
whether you like it or not.
He said he liked it though. He needs them.
What is it?
He said he needs a new bromance in his life. So it's, yeah, he'll like it.
He said bromances, plural. So
Ultimate.
I can only bring one
Yeah.
to this.
Well, survival of the fittest, I suppose.
yeah, we'll see how good you are. That's what we'll do. Mm-hmm.
It's
Hey, Michael, thanks so much for being on the show. It's been fun talking whatever we talked about.
yeah, man, it's been great. I appreciate you having me on here and reaching out.
Best of luck to you and your podcast. I know you'll go far. You'll get to 173. You were 173 on my show tonight.
Awesome.
I appreciate every single one of them, and even the ones that I mess up on, and you know how that goes. But it's a lot of fun to do it, and it's people that we never would have met because we never would have walked up and talked to them.
Yeah, of course.
I'm in the same boat.
Yeah, I'm
plan us out
shy, so I'm always the first one to walk up and talk to somebody. But once
I do sometimes, but more often than not, I don't. I stand back and I watch them and be like, oh, that looks like somebody I could get along with. Hey, my name's Scott. No, I don't know what I do. I don't know. It's weird. It's awkward. It's always awkward.
yeah, I appreciate you reaching out, man. It's been really
Yeah,
great
man.
talking with you.
It's been fun. It's been fun.
Yeah.
We should do a joint podcast where we're interviewing the same person. But
Yeah,
that'd be a co-host thing anyway. I mean, I don't understand.
hey, I'd be up for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do that.
Yeah, man.
Can we have a bromance, or are you taken?
We could. I'd sort of taken with this long distance bromance with Asher.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, I'll talk to him about that.
Closer.
We'll see. Hey, playing us out of the show tonight is a band that I would hope to have on at some point in this show. They're huge in the UK. They're huge worldwide, really. But they got a new album coming out, and they're called Go-Go Penguin. And the song is called Glimmerings. It's the only one that's out on the new album that's coming out. And they're really good. It's kind of jazzy. It's kind of, I don't know what it is. It's more jazzy than anything. It's instrumental. And it's phenomenal. I love it. But they saw the story on Instagram, and they saw it the last time I put it up there for a show.
Yeah.
That's how I get the guests. I tag them on Instagram and play them on the show. Then they're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah. I remember when you messaged us. Yeah, but see, I haven't messaged them, and I'm sure they probably don't even read them anyway.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna have to go through the whole manager publicist thing. I'm sure, but that would be badass. When I get Go-Go Penguin on, you will be my co-host.
Okay. Yeah, man. Let's do it.
All right, awesome.
Yeah, man.
Thanks again for coming on, man. This is Go-Go Penguin with Glimmerings, and I guess, and unless I don't schedule anything until the 22nd, that's when I'll be on next. But I will do some live shots from the Memphis Mayfire show with Ire and Tuesday's Too Late and Drown the Deep. We'll also be playing that show on Thursday.
Awesome.
Up at the Enclave in Pittsburgh. Get your tickets now, or something like that. I don't know. Asher, nice talking to you on the chat. Hope to talk to you this weekend. We'll see you, Michael. Have a good night.
Peace out, man. Thank you.